Good evening, everyone. Today is May 15, 2024. This is the Town of Fairmount Heights Town Meeting. I would like to first say we apologize that this meeting had to be virtual, but unfortunately, the building does not have water. They had a plumbing issue, and we've been without water for almost 3-4 hours now. They're still working to fix the problem, so hopefully it'll be resolved before the morning. But however, let's get started. Can everyone hear me before I go any further? All right, so let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Stewart,
Present.
Vice Chairman Barnhart, Councilmember Lethwich, Councilmember St. John, Councilmember Wood Dotson, Councilmember Downing, Councilmember Oscar.
Madam Clerk, you will have to unmute everybody so that they can speak up for themselves, please. Please call the roll again and unmute everybody's mic for this part.
Mayor Stewart,
Present.
Vice Chairman Barnhart,
Present.
Councilmember Lethwich, Councilmember St. John, Councilmember Wood Dotson,
Here.
Councilmember Downing, Councilmember Oscar.
Do we currently have a quorum?
No, we do not.
Okay, we're gonna wait a few more minutes to see if some other council members will log on. We'll call the roll again at 7:35. We'll call the roll again at 7:35 to see if we have a quorum at that point. Madam Clerk, there's nobody waiting in the waiting room, right?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, it looks like St. John. Yeah, I see. Go ahead and Madam Clerk, please call the roll again.
Mayor Stewart,
Present.
Vice Chairman Barnhart, Councilmember Lethwich,
I'm present.
Councilmember St. John,
Did you unmute him?
yes, ma'am. And Councilmember Dotson,
She acknowledged presence before, so
Councilmember Downing,
Present.
thank you.
Councilmember Oscar.
All right, so I acknowledge present, Barnhart acknowledged present with Dawson and Downing, so we do have a quorum. Let's move ahead. So we're gonna move down the agenda, meeting rules. We're gonna stay consistent, 3 minutes for citizens' participation. And please, we're on Zoom tonight, so please be mindful not to speak or overtalk someone else who has the floor. The next agenda item is reading and approval of the meeting minutes. Did the council have the opportunity to review all the meeting minutes that were given to you by the clerk? Did the council have an opportunity to review the meeting minutes? Okay, I'll accept the motion to approve those meeting minutes. But there's a correction that needs to be made on one set of meeting minutes. And that is the, Madam Clerk, do you have the meeting minutes date? Hold on, I got it. It's right here. Give me 1 second, I'm pulling it up. Okay, so the correction needs to be made to February 13th meeting minutes. Under roll call, it says Mayor Stewart, Councilwoman Barnhart, St. John, and Wood Dawson were all present. Unfortunately, not correct. While Councilwoman Vice Chair Barnhart was online, she did not acknowledge being here, and that meeting was adjourned at 7:50 because we did not have a quorum. So I just want to make that note. So if I can get a member of the council to approve the meeting minutes with corrections for February 13th, that would be great. It's listed on the agenda, so anybody can do that motion for me, please.
You might have to do a correction on that because I was on the meeting on February 13th, but you guys couldn't hear me.
Right, but we didn't have a quorum, so we couldn't have that meeting. But it says you were present online. We can make that correction. You were present online, but you didn't say, we couldn't hear you.
Okay.
I'll accept the motion to approve those meeting minutes.
Can y'all hear me? Hello.
Yes. They're listed on there. The meeting for 2/13 will have to be with corrections, but we can approve them with corrections. Is anybody going to do a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
I oppose a motion to approve meeting minutes for 11/15/2023, 2/13/2024, 2/21/2024, 3/26/2024 with the correction of the approval minute meetings for 2/13/2024.
Can I get a second?
Aye,
Oscar, you second them?
I second that motion, yeah.
Okay, Madam Clerk, take, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Those meeting minutes have been, approved with corrections.
Okay, and I say no, because I have never received the minutes. When was the minutes given to all of us?
Right. I didn't receive it either.
Madam Clerk, do you have the email where you sent it to him?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it a reason why we can't receive the emails and a hard copy in our box? Or what's the purpose of having a clerk to the council if it's not accommodable for the use that we would need?
Okay,
in re-
can you table that until later down the agenda? Let's finish the approval of the meeting minutes and see when they were sent to you guys. And then from there, we can.
No, I'm not going to table it because I've been asking this question for a long time. I need an answer.
Okay, I
It's
don't have
always
for you.
it's
I have an answer right now until I'm finished with this part of the agenda.
But this is every month. This has been going on for over a year now. So no, I can't really do my job as a council person because I'm not able to get what I need to do what I need to do.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you make sure the meeting minutes go in Councilwoman Dotson's mailbox, please?
Yes, I'd like a hard copy.
A hard
being
copy.
that I've said that my
I just
email
asked
has been
to put-
okay, but it's an ongoing endeavor. So that I just want it to be on the record. That way it'll
Okay.
be in these minutes.
All right, it's noted.
Thank you.
All right. Madam Clerk, did you find out when you sent the email to everyone?
I'm re-forwarding the email now.
That shows that
And
it was sent.
for the record, I'm looking at here, you guys are asking for minutes to be approved for November the 15th. Were these work session minutes or town meeting minutes?
A combination of both.
So it's a combo pack. Combo, November the 15th. Can a person approve minutes when they weren't present for the meeting?
No.
I don't know the rule on that, so I have to find out.
All right, so the February the 13th, you're saying that we had minutes. What is those February the 13th minutes for? Was it a work session or a town meeting?
February the 13th was a
Work session.
work session.
Also, the
Oh,
email
works.
was sent April 29th.
Okay, so I'm looking down at April the 29th. Meeting minutes, please see attached the November 15th town meeting minutes. So November 15th, it says here they were town meeting. February the 13th, it says that was a work session. Town meeting. Okay, so it was, look like here, November the 15th, 2023 town meeting. And then it says February the 13th, work session. Then it says February the 21st, that was a town meeting. And then it says March the 26th, it was a town meeting. All right, so as far as I'm concerned, I did not see this email. I did not get these minutes either in hard copy or in, I didn't receive this email. So at this point, what I'm going to ask Ms. Russell to do is, Ms. Russell, please put a copy of these minutes in our mailbox. And as far as I'm concerned, I cannot approve minutes that I did not read and I wasn't present for. So thank you.
Okay. All right, so we'll just, until I get further explanation, we'll postpone the approval of the meeting minutes. All right, next agenda item, Police Department Chief, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm online.
Thank you, Chief.
Good evening, Council. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, citizens online. Let me start by with the stats in the police department going from April the 19th to May the 14th. I did not total in anything that we did today far as calculating numbers. We have 36 total calls for service in the town. 23 of the calls are from Fairmount Heights Police Department. 9 by the county police, 4 from Prince George's County Sheriff's Office, dealing with domestic paperwork. 0 arrests from that time to now. 10 vehicles impounded in the town of Fairmount Heights. Also, last Saturday after the Mother's Day walk, actually it was quite some time after, because I believe we wrapped that up a little after 10, maybe something like that. Fairmount Heights High School had an incident. Not that it affected anything in the town, but this is just information so people will know. They had a large fight on the football field at Fairmount Heights High School. There were no scheduled activities at the school that Saturday, but for whatever reason, there were large amounts of juveniles who either just met up there or called other people up to the scene, and it was a large fight, and it took multiple units from around the Landover, George sector area, along with other jurisdictions to help disperse the crowds. I don't believe any arrests were made, but it was a large crowd control issue. We still don't know exactly what the confrontation was about, but as we get closer towards the end of the school, the county is asking all municipalities as well to be mindful of the end of the year activities that go on with students. A lot of kids go from school to school, and it's trouble sometimes. So we've been asked to keep a special lookout and make contact with the school resource officer at Fairmount Heights to help out whenever we can. I'm going to Robert Gray Elementary on Friday to meet with the principal to find out if there's anything that we can do in reference to the final days of school, even though it's not in the town, but that's just part of the relationship that we're making because a lot of our kids go to Robert Gray Elementary. Also, and I'm not sure if former council member Waiters is online today and she was going to speak at this, but we were scheduled to participate with the bike rodeo this Saturday. Unfortunately, it's going to be postponed because of the weather this weekend. It's supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday. So she'll let us know when we are going to resume the bike rodeo in the future. So I've made all notifications to the other outside agencies that I solicited and the fire department as well. On a something that I mentioned yesterday that about the police department making rounds in the town of Fairmount Heights to all of the businesses and having conversations with either the store managers or either the owners in reference to their security and what type of proactive changes they were making to their security system, camera system, and some places that have actual physical security on premises. So the Fairmount Heights Library has a security company that is working there. We do multiple checks a day at the library and make contact with that security officer as well if there's anything that we can do to help or any issues. And the other thing I mentioned yesterday is that the police department is actively seeking out 3 different law enforcement grants that we are trying to do applications for within the next 2 weeks with the assistance of Mount Rainier Police Department and Carter City Police Department, both chiefs. We're going to dive into it all together. It's something that both of those municipalities have been awarded and have the actual language that was awarded to them on multiple years, and they're going to extend that courtesy over here to us to help us move forward with that. And we are also moving forward with our speed camera, red light camera program. And Mayor, Council, that will conclude my report.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Pinckney, Code Enforcement. Mr. Pinckney, are you on the line? We'll come back to him. He did come to the town hall earlier today to pick up his report, so he will be getting online momentarily. We'll come back to him. Mr. Rumi, are you on the line?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Mayor, Council, staff, and citizens of the town of Fairmount Heights. I'm going to do a summary of my report that I presented on yesterday. I want you, council members to be aware that we did receive a letter from the Maryland Department of Agriculture for spraying of adult mosquitoes beginning May 26, 2024 through September 30th, 2024. The suggested community appropriation, the cost is $1,800. This increase is a 0.6% increase above 2023, and the appropriations at that time was $1,100. I do have the necessary form and paperwork. It does not need council approval. I just need to complete the form and have the mayor's signature upon the form, and we'll mail it in. Also, at a meeting or two ago, Councilmember Wood Dodson questioned what the passing of a resolution to adopt the Fairmount Heights logo. I think at that time it was stated that the resolution was not passed. I did extensive research to find out that resolution FHR 0520, and I did put a copy of that resolution in your packet yesterday, and it was passed on January 15, 2020, adopting the Fairmount Heights logo that honors the rich history of the town. However, there remains the question of the use of the Prince George's County seal. I have requested a legal review of any copyright issues from Attorney DeLoach, which I sent on to him today. And Public Works, the Public Works staff and team has done a remarkable job and working with the town to make certain that the town is a beautiful, peaceful place to live. The department is removing all invasive vines from trees and trim all low-hanging branches where necessary, especially at the ravine. The department will continue or will start stenciling numbers on the drain covers, certainly which would be good for any reports and keeping the drains open, especially we are having an unusual heavy rainy season. It is important that we keep those drains open. To improve the curb appeal at Town Hall, you may notice we've planted many hostas, rose bushes, and an assortment of other perennials. The feedback has been all positive in terms of the improvement. Staff picked up several tons of solid waste, and the town was able to take advantage of the free dumping at the county's waste facility. And we picked up and dumped at least 6,000 tons. Mr. Cradle did put fox traps in the park area across from townhouses along 56th Street, but one trap was stolen. So we're doing the best we can. I want to thank Ms. Russell for posting information on the website and on social media to inform everyone that this is not only a Fairmount Heights issue, it's an environmental issue. We have the same thing here in Chesapeake Beach and every other place that we may go, because the natural habitat for all of God's creatures have been disturbed. We also installed a pooper scooper station at 56th Avenue on the townhouse side. And also, please note that when we installed the original 10 pooper scoopers, this was a funded project that was funded through Sustainable Maryland. So any other new pooper stations, we have to pay directly until I'm able to find additional funding. Also, I want you to be aware that Mr. Tony Rappin, our representative from PEPCO, was in town on April 15, 2024 to tour the K Street Market Circle project. Construction is well on its way. Mr. Pinckney accompanied me on the tour. There was a street light in the town parking lot was out, and I posted the light number. The street light was repaired immediately and is now back on. And again, I know some things may sound redundant, but if you go on PEPCO's website, you may see street lights, but the fast and effective way is to call in, and I will send the information on to Mr. Ruffin. The Net Zero Housing Initiative Partnership, Warren Builders have erected 6 homes, and bear in mind there are 7. The 7th house will be built on Joss Street, and it will be a new developer, another developer, not new. The next step, of course, is to install the HVAC systems on the inside of the houses. And this will be followed up by installing of siding. The porches will be put on last. HIP will be responsible for paying the town for any outstanding permits that are due to the town. I know that came up at one point. Also, moving on, I want to make a note. Any plans for a funeral home at 5443? Again, there are no hearings scheduled for a funeral home by Way Funeral Home Incorporated. I even called them myself. At Fairmount Heights is the practice of the Department of Parking Planning to post hearing information at the address in question to allow comments and concerns from the impacted area, also to allow feedback from mayor and council. Report on the DOE project. Today, I did send you out. First, I want to thank Carol and Mary for being at Town Hall last night. I did send out a copy of the tree plan for all the council to review. I'm happy to say that the plan does include 2 Christmas trees. So the mayor and council, you can make your selection. We hope to get these the season for planting and even planting trees. It is through the end of May, so we're gonna have to move rather fast on that. The other good news is the Sustainable Maryland certification. Also, we had another visitor in town, Mike Huntinghick. He's the director of Sustainable Maryland and Economic Finance Center for the University of Maryland. Mr. Cradle and I, we went on a tour. We had a meeting first, and we went on a tour of the town to look at all the projects and work that the town embarked upon. Mr. Huntinghick's comment was that the town of Fairmount Heights has more projects, and especially sustainable and green projects, than any other town in the state of Maryland. And just to name a few, we have the first net zero housing project, the first in PG County, and there is probably another net zero housing project, I think, in Florida. We are first to have the Maryland microgrid project. The tree planting project of planting it's not a first, but it's a part of the state of Maryland and the federal government plan to plant 5 million trees, and we're part of it. And we have planted 117 trees. I sent you a copy of that plan today. In addition, we have installed historic markers. I know some of these things are old, but as Mr. Hummond said, when he visited other towns, he's not seen such creativity and work over the years. We have the creation of the Fairmount Heights Heritage Trail. I will be working with parking planning and others to connect this heritage trail to the Prince George's County trail system. Of course, we have the preservation of several historic properties, the K Street Market Circle. As I said, that project is well on its way. We also established as a national historic district. After May 13th meeting, additional priority potential points will be added. One is the municipal carbon footprint, 15 points. The green purchase policy, which we already applied, 15 points. With all the planting in the trees that we've done, we qualified to become a Tree City USA. Another example would be Tacoma Park, Washington, D.C. stormwater management project, which is a ravine with Corvus. And I was informed that we will get 15 points for that, but an additional 15 points for a creative stormwater management project. Also included is the bicycle and pedestrian plan, which cuts down on the carbon footprint. And so a lot of some work will go into that. So I'll be talking to you, Mrs. Former Mayor Waiters, and the police department about a pedestrian right-of-way and trails and transportation. Also, we're looking at planning and land use plan to develop smaller vacant lots between 3,500 square feet to 4,999 square feet, and that would give us an additional 20 points. One of the things that the town of Fairmount Heights desperately need is to broaden your tax base, because I think right now, when we have 520 houses, we need to broaden your tax base. Mr. Pinckney is not here, but Mr. Pinckney did provide me with the information and the permits to build another brand new house on a regular sized lot on, gee whiz, I've got the exact address, but I'll get that information to you. So in addition to the 7 net zero housing, it's going to be one additional new house. And I'll be working with the chief and Mount Rainier and other police departments to come up with a safe route program to schools, and we'll get 10 points for that. Now, bear in mind, I have to submit all of this by the end of June, and so I have a busy schedule, but we have a fantastic staff who don't mind putting in the hours and the time to get this information, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Is Mr. Pinckney on the line yet? Okay. And Susan wasn't feeling well tonight, so Susan, are you on the line? She said she would possibly call in.
And I'd like to ask Mr. Rumi a question.
Okay, go ahead, Councilwoman Downing.
Mr. Rumi, good afternoon. How are you?
Good.
I have a question. If I'm not mistaken, when I asked for the pooper scooper station, I asked for it to be placed on the corner of Kolb and 56th.
Okay.
Right across from the park.
Okay.
But I noticed that it was placed in the middle of the 56th Avenue between K and Kolb. Is there a reason why it wasn't placed on the corner?
I have no idea as to why. However, that is a simple and easy fix. I will bring that to Mr. Cradle's attention on tomorrow, and we'll have that taken care of immediately.
Wonderful. My next question was, I hear all that you're doing and we really appreciate. I wanted to know, it was raised, the concern was raised that with the net zero houses coming and all of the things that's coming into Fairmount Heights, how our taxes are being impacted by this. I was wondering, you mentioned the National Historic District. Are there any tax discounts that our citizens could capitalize on because of the history of the town?
Absolutely. A very wise point to make, because any house that was built in the town prior to 1955 probably qualify as a historic house. Yes, I'm going to make a note of this, council member, and I will do an analysis to look at the number of houses that may be impacted, the impact that this is going to have on your taxes, and the impact with the new houses being built is going to have on your taxes. The last house, I think probably the last house that was sold on 60th Place, it was once where that little church was, a vacant lot, and I think the house sold for $580,000. I'm going to work with somebody at parking planning and with Prince George's County taxing office to do an analysis, and hopefully we can have that done for your June meeting.
Okay, now I'm aware of the historic homes and the constraints that go along with that accreditation. What I wanted to know from you is there's something that is out there that perhaps we don't know about that all of us could benefit from, another kind of tax incentive. So if you could check on us being on the National Registry, National Historic District,
Okay.
and us being a border city. Because we border Washington, D.C., we also have challenges that come along with that. So
Okay.
if you could also check on that, I'm going to do my due diligence as well. But if
Right.
anybody on the line is aware of it, because we do have challenges that come along with being on a D.C. line as well.
Right.
So I'll leave you to that. My only final question is regarding the foxes. Now they are walking in packs. Now they're 2 and 3 at a time, and now residents are having a concern. I did manage to run up on Mr. Cradle when he was hosting a trapper. Did you arrange for that?
No, well, not I personally. Did our department arrange for that? Yes. Mr. Cradle in Butterworth, yes.
Okay, is there anything that came out of that? Did the trapper go ahead? I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm making a list of the concerns that you raised, and they're all valid. So I'm going to have to, some of these concerns I can just answer you directly versus wait to do an analysis. But I will get back to you in terms of the outcome of that meeting that Mr. Cradle had with the trapper, because I wasn't present for that meeting.
Mr. Rumi, Mr.
Yes.
Cradle is on the line. Mr. Cradle, would you like to speak on that?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Ms. Downing, the trapper, I think his name was David. We spoke to you, and he did tell you that it was no sense in trapping the foxes, right?
Hold on, I'm sorry. No, that wasn't my understanding. What he explained was that if he catches one of them, he's going to have to kill it. So what he explained too as well, because you walked away and you were on the phone, but what he said was if he kills the mother, then she doesn't have time to train the pups on how not to go in our trash cans. So he explained to me as well is that some people don't have a problem with the foxes because they actually address the rats and mice. So what I explained to him was that's my understanding as well. But my concern, and now since he left that day, what we are seeing as individuals right around this park area is that they're now running 2 and 3 together. So before someone starts to shoot at them and bullets come through our homes again, I personally would like for them to come out and do what they need to get rid of them. Anybody on the phone suggest anything other than that, I welcome.
Okay, so I've already directed Mr. Cradle to seek a quote from a different vendor, and he's working on that as we speak.
All right, so we're waiting, and that's because that vendor's quote was too much.
No, that vendor said it was no sense in catching the foxes. He said it's mating season. He said you're going to see them, they're not going to bother you. He said for a fox to attack you or do anything, you have to either corner it or threaten the pups. Other than that, they're going to run around, they're going to find food, they're going to find mouses, snakes, and what have you, and they're going back to the den. They're not going to bother anybody. And he was like, it's no sense. And his recommendation was to just leave the foxes alone. But I'll get a quote from another vendor and see what they have to say.
All right, and I appreciate that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a petition going, and certainly let the citizens know that what that one trapper said. Because if we walk out of our homes and one of them is in the trash can, Whether they consider themselves being cornered, I don't know, but that's one of our concerns at this point. So thank you. I look forward to your updates at this point. And if anybody has any other suggestions, comments, questions about these foxes, certainly my email address is on the website. I welcome it. So thanks, guys.
I have a
You're welcome.
question. We had a meeting with Park and Planning. What did they say? Did they say they would do the same? They would actually try to put cameras inside the facility, well, inside the park. And if they can't catch anything, then so be it. But if they do catch something, they was going to euthanize it as well. And it was just like only thing that you can really do, because the fox is going to travel from destination to destination. They're going to travel in packs. Is for us to actually, like, I guess the trapper that y'all talked to saying the same thing. They're not going to harm anybody. They don't give out rabies. The only thing they have is mange, and they transport it to other animals if they catch mange or something like that. And they just like leave them alone. There's really nothing they can do about it. But they did, I think Park and Planning did say they're going to try to put cameras inside the wooded area over there near you, correct?
If I'm not mistaken, what they said on that meeting was that what they will do is they will put up monitoring cameras to see if their behaviors would indicate rabies. If they do not, then there's really nothing that they could do for us. But we are, believe me, I wouldn't be on the phone if I thought that they wouldn't cause concern for some of us. Some of us, they're fine, but those of us that are near the park, we have concerns. But I hear you. I look forward to the second estimate on what they would do. At first, I was like, leave them alone, let them do their thing. But now that I see that they're running, 2 and 3 at a time, my concern has raised. So thank you, Mr. Cradle. I look forward to what updates you may have. What I'll also do, Councilwoman Barnhart, is I'll schedule another meeting with Park and Planning to see what their findings were at that time. If that answers your question. All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. So is Susan on the line or Mr. Pickney on the line? Okay, so we're gonna move forward. Mr. Rumi, as far as with DOE and the tree planting, do we need a motion to approve the last 65? Because I thought when we did that ordinance or resolution about the trees, it covered it all.
Hold on for 1 minute. Okay, I did some research, or I take that back. Ms. Russell did. And I was looking at this resolution 0124. It's a resolution to approve Prince George's County Department of Environment and the Clean Water Partnership that I talked about. Its contractors to assign and assess entry to municipal properties and right-of-ways in order to design, survey, locate utility soil, and plant trees. So I think what you need to do, I mean, this is a general resolution. I think all you would need to is give approval in your minutes that you approve planting the additional 65 trees according to the plan.
Okay, and we're under old business. Thank you, Kim. I've given that information to Mr. Cradle. We're under old business, so I will accept the motion to plant the additional 65 trees in the town to exclude the area between Hip Hop Chicken and Tommy Broadwater's Yeah. Will the council present a motion on the floor for that?
I'm sorry, May, can you repeat that again?
So we need a motion to plant the additional 65 trees, but exclude the area by Hip Hop Chicken. Anybody?
Yeah, I'm here if you can hear me. So yeah, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to go ahead and plant the trees. I'm sorry, what's the number?
65.
65 trees, but exclude the hip hop chicken area for those trees.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Okay. Madam Clerk, take a roll of who supports this motion.
Mayor Stewart,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Barnhart,
No.
Councilmember Lethwich, Councilmember St. John,
Yes.
Councilmember Wood Dotson, Councilmember Downing,
No, with reason. And the reason being is that we got other issues. Say that again?
You said no. Next person.
No, but I can give a
Councilmember-
reason. And the reason that I'm giving is because this is the 4-point-something acres that we plan on developing. Is that correct?
We're not planning anything on the 4.4 acres.
So once again, grant money will be used on property that we will be developing. I think it's a waste of county funds.
Absolutely not. No, that's not what we're asking.
So explain to me, because I don't see any plans. I don't see an outline of anything.
The plan was sent to everybody in email today.
The motion was to exclude that area.
So you want us to vote on something that we got an email today?
Oh, no, we discussed it in detail at the work session yesterday.
Okay, so Mr. Rumi, explain to me again, because maybe somebody else is on the line that was voting yesterday that didn't have time.
We didn't vote yesterday.
We didn't vote yesterday.
All right, so explain to me once again where these trees, because we just planted a lot of trees in the town of Fairmount Heights. Where are these trees going to be built?
These additional 65 trees, we're going to plant. And off the top of my head, without looking at the plan, I can't tell you the number, but I give you the general areas where we're going to plant them. There was a request to plant trees at federal.
Mr. Rumi, hold on. Councilwoman Downing, you are out of order. There was a motion on the floor. It's either you answer yes, nay, or yay to it. Are you answering nay or yay to the question?
I'm answering no.
Okay. Keep taking a roll, Madam Clerk, so we can get this motion either passed or not passed.
Councilmember Oscar,
Yes.
What's the tally, Madam Clerk?
I don't believe we heard from Councilmember Wood Dotson.
Councilwoman Wood Dotson?
No.
Okay. So what's the tally?
Would be 3 yeses and 3 nos.
So it's a tie. Okay. Then the motion fails. Next item on the agenda, the Citizens Association Ethics Board. You have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Aye.
Is Oscar saying
We
aye?
can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Martez Barnhart, president of the Citizen Association of Fairmount Heights. We're on the agenda about the ethics board. So, really, we just want to just put it on record. Where's the process at for ethics board? Because, like we stated in the last town meeting, we're in clear violation of our charter by not having an ethics board. It's also stated from the mayor that she didn't even want an ethics board. So I think that's an issue as well.
That's not true at all. I said we weren't prepared for an ethics board because our policy documents are out of date. We can go back and read the minutes from that meeting. I did not say I did not want an ethics board. I said we were not prepared to have an ethics board because our documentation is out of date. So let's
so with that being said, we have a charter that has not been revised. We have a code of ethics that's in place. So if it's, out of date or if it's old, it's what we have that's in place. Now, like any other place that you work for or any other place that you serve, if they have something in place, you must follow that. Simple as that. Now, if you want to go and revise it, you can revise it. But until it's revised or until it's replaced, it needs to be followed because we're in clear violation.
Okay, how long have we, Mr. Barnhart, just out of curiosity, how long have we been without an ethics board?
We've been without the ethics board for over 10 years.
Oh, so it's not that we do it.
That's
Yeah.
irrelevant.
So
That's
hold
irrelevant. We
on.
are
So hold on. I'm
supposed to have an
sorry.
ethics board.
No, the Citizen Association has the floor. I'm sorry.
Okay, you go ahead.
So Mayor Martin had an ethics board prior before our last election. He had 3 members that was part of that board. She did have one established. But what I'm saying is prior before her, it was 10 years. But Mayor Martin did have an ethics board. Ms. Webb, Mr. Sheffield, and Mr. Nathaniel, he was on the ethics board as well. So we had an ethics board. So don't make no mistake of that. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is we have a new mayor and we have a new council and we're supposed to be doing things new. So if we're doing things new and we're doing things by the book, ethics, because everybody works at a place where they have ethics or they have a HR department that they have to follow policies and procedures. So if we're not following policies and procedures and we're violating that, that's an issue. And see, the reason why that we need an ethics board, such as your events that we have with these not getting 3 bids, and we got Sergeant Moores that was let go for a legal matter, and then we got other issues that's going on within the town, such as flying drones and things like that. Well, you need an ethics board to be able to address those concerns too. That's the reason why they're in place. But if you don't have that, then guess what? Then you're doing a disservice.
Okay, Mr.
And there's no
Barnhart,
accountability.
we will send out the notification for the ethics board once
You
again.
said that last time. You said
Well,
that
we
last
will.
time, Mayor.
I have a question.
You
You
said that
mentioned that
last
Sergeant Moore got let go for legal purposes. What was those legal purposes?
I don't know.
Well,
You mentioned it, so you must know.
So what I said was he was let go for whatever legal purposes were, because he's not here no more. He's part of the police
You
department,
said
right?
legal purposes, so you identified that he was let go for legal reasons, correct?
What I said was he was let go for legal purposes. He's not here no more, correct?
And then you mentioned something about the
And he
charter.
came into and he came into the meeting. He came into the meeting and he wanted to disclose why he was let go, and y'all wouldn't let him. So if you got an ethics board,
because personnel issues, the town will be sued if we let somebody come in that town hall and we discuss personnel issues. That's why. Legal matters.
If he's giving you permission and it's
No.
about his business, then he can do that.
No, you can't.
He can do that.
No, you cannot.
Well, the fact still remains is this, you guys. If we had an ethics board,
you talk about an ethics board, where they're in the charter. Can you place it in the charter? Where
Code of Ethics, section 2-1, section 2-102.
It's all over the charter. It's all over the charter. It's also
Understood,
in your
Councilmember Downing, Miss Downing, I'm actually talking to Martez at the moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Where is it at again, Mr. Barnhart?
But if you're the vice chair, then you should know this. It's section 2.
Look, so when I look at it, it's actually in the ordinance, not the charter. That's why I've seen it.
The charter and the ordinance works hand to hand. They side by side.
It does, but you always mention something about a charter, not an ordinance. When I see it in the code of ethics, as far as the ordinance, it's different. It's just like putting the Bible inside a dictionary. You can't call the dictionary a Bible if you transferring paperwork. It's 2 different printouts. So if you look at the ordinance, it's in the ordinance. I do see it in the ordinance, and I've been very well going through this charter, trying to locate with the ethics board.
Charter. It's in the charter.
Councilman Wood Dawson, I'm actually talking to Mr. Barnhart at the moment.
Ms.
I'm sorry.
Barnhart,
But
Ms.
read
Barnhart,
your charter.
Ms. Barnhart.
I am reading it. I'm going over the charter. That's why I asked, can you help me locate that information? Because I've been back and forth through the charter, looking at it. I do see it in the ordinance, but not the charter. So,
Mayor, can you please call order to your meeting, please, Mayor?
Order. Ms. Russell, mute everybody's mic with the exception of Mr. Barnhart at this time.
Thank you, Mayor.
Hello? Hello?
Go ahead, Mr. Barnhart, you have the floor.
Okay, so the fact remains is this, Mayor Stewart. We supposed to have an ethics board. If we had an ethics board, a lot of these issues that's the town that's experiencing right now with a variety of things that's going on, then we will have some accountability. It's in the it's in the code of ethics, and it's part of our charter. We're supposed to have one.
Okay, I don't disagree. And when we do our policy review, if the council will allow, I think we should start with the ethics board for the update, because if we're going to create an ethics board, we want some new and current policies in place.
That's
so
not
when we
sufficient.
no,
Sufficient.
we're going to send out the notice to get people to fill this seat. But however, council, when we do our first policy review, I would like to start with initially I said the employee handbook, but I would like to start with this so that we can make sure that this ethics policy meets the current town of Fairmount Heights standards. So, okay. Thank you, Mr. Barnhart. We will be submitting a flyer to the community to fill those ethics seats. We only have at this point.
Do you know when?
The notice will go out. Today is Thursday. No, today's Wednesday. The notice will go out by Monday.
Thank you.
Okay. Was that all you had, Mr. Barnhart? Okay. Thank you. The next agenda item is the Community Assistance Program. Councilwoman Wood Dawson, are you prepared to, you're not prepared to discuss this tonight, right?
Ms. No, I'm not. I'm not able, because what I asked in regard to documentation, I don't have, and this that I have. Can I finish, or are you gonna answer for me?
Because I sent you everything you requested today.
And what I asked for, I have a packet that was done by Kirsten for home repairs. This is now been revised, if you remember, and it's for a utility program for seniors 65 on for utilities. So it would have to be rewritten, sent back to the attorney, and approved by the council. Like I said, it will be ready in June.
So the document I sent you is not for the utility assistance program. I mean, the community repair program.
No, it's not. It's home repairs. That's it. We're not doing home repairs. We're doing utilities.
We've already done the utility assistance program. So you guys are doing another, you changed the whole program.
Remember she said that in order to do home repairs, it wouldn't be able or really adequate to be done because they would be bonded, licensed, and it wouldn't be sufficient for what we had. So she thought even changing it would be better. We said we would take it upon putting it back out as a utility program for seniors that didn't get it from the first time that have eligibility now. So it has to be something written in order to support it. I'm not a grant writer.
Okay, I'm sorry. So this is the first I'm hearing that you want to switch it to a utility program, because we've already done that. This is the very first I've heard you say that. I do recall.
No, I said it before, even when Kirsten said she no longer wanted to do it. I said it would have to change because she said with the amount that we are giving and the things that were going to be done, it wouldn't suffice the people's houses in regard to having them bonded and licensed. What could you get for what we were given? And it was at a late date. Maybe if you call Miss Leftwood, she can fortify what was said in regard to the home repair program.
Right. So and Kim said it right in the chat. We can't have a program that excludes the majority of our residents. So we can't have another utility program just for the seniors. It would have to be
okay. Well, even if it were open into the community, it couldn't be repetitive. Those that have already been served couldn't come back.
Exactly, I understand that. But however, okay, so if you want to do that, then that needs to come back to the council, because we would have to reallocate those funds to this new program.
I think I said that last night, and you told me that you would
have to make the changes to that document. I was under the assumption that you were still talking about the repair program, not community assistance program number 1. I didn't know you had changed your program. I don't recall that. Does any other council members recall that being said? Please unmute the mics of the council only.
No, what was spoken about yesterday was the paperwork that was already submitted and for review, for the attorney to review it, and it was supposed to stay the same. You stated that if any changes that need to be made, we have to do the whole, they have to do the whole process all over again, and then let the attorney review it again for it to be submitted out to the public.
All right. What I'd like to
Downing got cut off.
It sounds like it, yes. Councilwoman Downing, we lost you.
This is really irritating that you could be cut off and you can't speak and you can speak. This is why Zoom calls cannot work for us. What I would like to say is I'm looking at emails. I'm looking at emails, and it looks like I've been on the council 2 months now. And when I came on, they was talk about a program, this ARPA residential repair program. And when I came on, apparently Councilwoman Wood Dotson and Councilwoman Leftwich was working on it. Well, when Councilwoman Leftwich said that she didn't want a part of it and she dropped it on Councilwoman Wood Dotson, I said, you know what, let me take a look at the program. Let me take a look at what you all have. And then I was told that there wasn't any documentation. And then the next thing you know, I'm handed a packet that apparently Kirsten had worked on. And I'm like, okay, so where's your documentation online? There's only this packet. And then what I'm looking at here, Mayor Stewart, it looks like apparently you guys have been talking to the attorney. I'm going down in the bottom of the email, and it looks like in October of last year, Kirsten worked on this project, which is kind of, it's a lot when you're asking people to do work on their homes. And you have to get 3 bids, and then there's liability that's included. So I'm assuming that's why Councilwoman Leftwich decided that she didn't want to do it. So when I'm looking at the email that was received today from you, Mayor Stewart, it looks like October the 10th. Kirsten told you guys, or Councilwoman Leftwich told you guys, she said, I would like to provide a draft of the residential repair program. Please provide your feedback at your earliest convenience. And she sent this to the mayor, St. John. Okay, she sent it to everybody. And then apparently, Mayor, you sent it to Jason. And Jason, you said, please review the attached for legal sufficiency. Please direct any of the following questions to Councilwoman Leftwich. Okay, so now 2 days later, Jason tapped back and he said, hey, Mayor, attached is, please find any his suggestions and edits to the document. Contact me should you have any questions. That was October the 12th of last year. And it looks like here, Kirsten, same day, she said, "Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for reviewing, providing edits to the document. I will make the changes for the upcoming meeting in October." She sent it to yourself. And then she came back and she said, look like here, either way, what I'm saying is that all of this was done in October. And it looks like today, Wood Dotson says, "Thank you for the email. Can someone send me a copy of the updated repair draft?" I'm just looking at here. Why is it that Kirsten, October the 10th? Okay, I'm going back. I'm sorry. I'm going back up. It looks like October the 18th, Kirsten said, "Good afternoon. She has updated the draft version of the repair program policy based on the suggestion from our attorney. At this time, I haven't received any other feedback, so so this will be her final draft moving forward." She says she will create the flyer on October the 18th. Then it looks like today at 2:36, Mayor Stewart, you sent it to Wood Dotson and you say, "Per your request, can you please advise when you will be able to present to the council for review?" So what I'm wondering is, between October and today, what's the reason why now Wood Dotson has, 6 months to have a repair program put in place and made whole? So talking to her earlier in the week, I said to her, "Why don't we present it to the mayor and council that we have a program for seniors, that we give them the same opportunity that they gave themselves of paying $800 in utility bills?" Because looking at the list of recipients for the $800 ARPA funds for the utility program, it wasn't a whole lot of seniors on there. So based on what Wood Dotson and I talked about was pulling the voter registration list, sorting it by people who are on a fixed income, and giving them the packet of explaining to them that these are coming from ARPA funds, that you'll have an opportunity to take away some of the burden of your household by having your utilities paid. Here's the application that doesn't go through one person, but it goes through the town of Fairmount Heights.
Okay, Councilwoman,
yeah.
Can you wrap it up a little bit? Because
also what we're saying, what Councilwoman Wood Dotson and I are saying is, because this project is so late in the process, and we all know December the 31st, that money is gone, that we reallocate that money and put it towards seniors. And because you all obviously know how to give $800 in utility payments, we already know that it can be done. So what I would like to do is, in our next work session, Wood Dotson and I will present the mayor and council with a project plan to do that. I wasn't there last night, so I couldn't present it. But next work session, she and I will present the program. Now, what I would like to address,
before we go that far, we need to put a motion on the floor to see if the council will want to do that.
No, I would prefer. I would prefer that we have an opportunity to present it. I would prefer that we have an opportunity.
Mute her mic. Thank you. So what I was saying was that I think it should be presented to the council, because the Citizens Association wanted this project. They were very boisterous with it. From the beginning, when we talked about ARPA, from the very first time, they were adamant about this particular program. So It was in there. I think the council, just like we have to vote to reallocate funds, the council should vote to reallocate these funds to a different program. And it may not necessarily be the program that they're speaking of. It could be, but the program has to benefit the community. Council, would the council like to have a vote on this? And I need to hear from all council members. Would you like to put a motion on the floor to either accept this new program or create a new program? And please unmute the mic.
If I can go first, honestly, I would prefer to hear from the, originators of where the program first designed. You said the Citizens Association were the first, or were the advocates for this type of program. So I definitely think it would be valid that their input would be heard before making the decision to change. That's my take.
Thank you. Councilman Oscar.
I'm saying if they're gonna put in the effort to develop a program, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't give them that opportunity to develop whatever they're gonna do and present it to the council, and then we'll take a vote on it.
Okay. Councilwoman Barnhart.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to unmute. If it's a new program, yes, I would like to hear it. We already did the $800 program. That was helped by the Citizens Association. That's why we put the first program in place. Understanding that now the seniors want that same program. Is there a list of seniors that already submitted their information that didn't get that program at first that we can tend to and do a separate program for that as well?
These are all the questions. These are all the questions that would be answered when we would be allowed to properly present it to the council. So at that time, they could vote on it. That's what I was asking for us to get our ducks in a row to present it properly.
Okay, but the seniors weren't excluded from the first round of utility assistance. They weren't excluded. It was open.
Well, when you advertise certain ways that exclude them because they don't do social media, because they're not apt to Facebook and
flyers on everybody's door. We did.
And you know what? Really, I'm telling you right now. I'm talking to people who never got the flyer. I'm living in a townhome development with 34 townhouses. None of us got the flyer.
Okay.
So you can say that.
So the council, is it the pleasure of the council to allow them to present us with another utility program in the month of June?
Yes.
Okay. I got Oscar. Barnhart.
Yes.
Barnhart. But the problem is, it's been since really Wood Dawson took the program over in January, because we have that in the records. January.
Did Kirsten give a reason why she turned it over?
She said because when she was at a meeting where the Citizens Association was at, and they talked so negatively about the town, and they said that there's no economic development. So she said her focus should be on economic development. That's why she recused herself from the program, because she wanted to focus on economic development.
My belief, I think, I'm so sorry, Mayor. My belief, I think these seniors need home repairs that's been prolonged since October. I think some of these seniors really do need these home repairs.
So what is the pleasure of the council?
What is I'll ask that question, Councilwoman Downing. Thank you. What is the pleasure of the council? And I'm going to go individually. Councilwoman Downing, what would you like?
Yes, to present the project to the mayor and council at the June work session.
Okay, Councilwoman Wood Dawson.
I'm reinstating the exact same thing. I said that yesterday. I said June, we would be prepared to give the information in regard to reallocating it for the utility program.
Okay, thank you.
Because is it a way, with that being said, being that you have communication in regard to Kirsten and she being a grant writer, that she could give the indication of what she said? I was at the meeting that we went to down in Glenarden. Along with what was being said, I think she realized, she did say it took a lot to work it up to what she got. But then with 3 bids and the different things that it's gonna put on the seniors, you're gonna have the seniors with someone home, with someone possibly responsible for the decisions that they're making. It's not as easy as pay my utilities and it's done. So maybe she can find some verbiage as well to back that up.
Okay, we'll reach out to her and find out. Councilwoman Leftwich, I'm sorry, she's not on the line. Oscar, your vote again, please.
I say yes, we give them the opportunity to present at the next work session in June.
Okay, Councilwoman Barnhart. Barnhart. St. John. Councilwoman St. John.
Unmute, please. She say unmute. I think Councilwoman Barnhart is muted as well.
Madam Clerk, can you please unmute their mic?
I have, but they're gonna have to stay unmuted.
Okay, I can.
When they remute, it's gonna.
Okay, St. John, your vote.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, I do think that it's a lot and it could be difficult with just one person. Now that Sherry has agreed to assist her with that, I think they should properly have the chance to see what they come up with and, you know, give them a chance to be heard. But I mean, we definitely need to get the ball rolling and have something substantial that we can vote on by next month, or at least make some progress.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Barnhart, you said
I'm finally unmuted. Thank you. Give them the opportunity to present what they have on their behalf. I still want to go back to helping the seniors out with their homes, as far as any type of funding we can provide for them to, the upkeeping of their homes. Some seniors can't walk and need ramps to get in and out of their doors. Some seniors might need certain things being done to their home, but I'm willing to hear their new proposal in June.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to vote yes to this question too as well. But however, this is my caveat. If in June, you guys do not have a program ready to present to the council at the work session where we can review it and give our input, then I'm going to say the council vote to reallocate it to another program geared towards our citizens. Is that fair?
Yes.
No, can you repeat that? What did you say?
Okay, so I'm saying that in June at the work session, when you present your program to the council, if in June you can't get this off the ground, if it doesn't go anywhere, the council will vote to reallocate that funds to another program that helps the citizens, the residents in our community.
I don't know if I agree with that, because either you're going to give us an opportunity to present or not. That's what we're asking for. I don't even know why we're voting on an opportunity.
Well, Councilmember Downing, I think we are giving you that opportunity in June. And if the mayor is saying, if you're not ready to present in June, then that would be a missed opportunity, and the funds.
All right. Well, we'll be presenting in June. That's no problem. But as far as, so yeah, that.
All
That's
right,
a whole month.
Okay. All right. So June, Madam Clerk, please make sure you put that on the agenda. Community assistance program on the agenda. All right. Thank you everyone for your input. I appreciate it. Madam Clerk, can you unmute the mics of the residents or everybody online, because some people want to speak about this. I'll take let me see. Let me see. I saw. Count, Miss White, you said you wanted to say something? Miss White?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Okay, that wasn't true that we were very upset about that program. We suggested that program, but if citizens, I would like to hear what they have to present too. Maybe it's something that we missed, you know, if it's good for the citizens to have their home repaired. I remember Kirsten saying that it was a lot of work, and that's why she didn't want to do it anymore. So, but whatever they have to, if they can help more citizens, that's all we want, for the citizens to be helped, senior or otherwise. That's all I had to say.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other citizens that would like to give input?
Give me my phone, because you see me here on the fucking meeting.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mute everybody's mic but myself and Miss Waiters.
Yeah, my turf.
Can I go ahead? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So concerning this, point number one, whenever we talk about doing something, it's always for me a bias, and it's in the chat, towards seniors. Now I don't want to continue on and on to repeat my age. I can use repairs, but I want to talk about what's not being considered when it comes to others that may need repairs. So you guys are voting to hear another leg of this to change things around. So the utility program was done. Now this was a repair program. And I remember Councilmember Leftwich saying that it was too much. I don't know anything about the Citizens Association in the meeting, but it was too much. And she was focused on economic development. Councilmember Wood Dodson decided to take this repair program on. Now, I remember having conversations offline and talking about what it could be for, and it being focused on, it wasn't just seniors. And I remember saying, the focus is always on seniors. And it, again, read the chat. We never talk about citizens. So it's not just seniors that need repair. I beg to differ. They're youth with learning disabilities, young folks with learning disabilities, people with impairments that we don't even know about, others. So when you say seniors, what seniors are you talking about? Because it's always seniors, but we never talk about the other part of the citizens. So when you bring this program back, please don't just focus on seniors. I am one, but I am biased, and I think it's biased when it comes to not including the community as a whole. Now, I'm going to say it and end it by this. Councilmember Downing has mentioned this has been ongoing since October, and she's been since 2 months, and she's just finding things out for me. And I'm glad she is finding things out. However, somebody said January. Councilmember Wood Dodson has had this for a long time. And again, offline, we've had conversations and nothing has been done. And now you're going to redirect it and try to bring it back as a utility program. When it was, you assumed it as a repair program. Now you want to change it and focus it merely on seniors. There's other people that need repairs. I don't know about contractors. I'm not trying to go up at a high level. This has been ongoing too long. Last point. When it was first initiated in the conversation, when Councilmember Donnie first came on and explained, she said she would agree to do it. And this is the second time I made this point. And then when she heard the details, she said, no, I've changed my mind. Now she's all in and it's going to change. So you all can move forward with listening for another perspective or whatever, but this needs to be for all citizens, not just seniors. And I'm not saying I am a senior, I am of age, but let's make this inclusive.
Thank you. I'm sorry, was that all?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for your input. Are there any other citizens on the line that would like to make a comment about this before we move on?
Yes, Mayor, this is Kim Gladden. Can I speak very briefly, please?
Yes, Kim, you have the floor.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, and citizens. This is Kim Gladden. I live on 61st Avenue, and I just wanted to comment on the Utility Assistance Program. As many of you know, Mayor Stewart, at the time, Councilmember Stewart asked me to assist her with administering the Utility Assistance Program. And I just want to share there were no parameters on that program. There were no age parameters. I think I heard Councilwoman Wood Dotson and Councilmember Downing comment that seniors were left out of that program. That's not true. We didn't require, okay, I apologize. Okay, we didn't require any age. We didn't ask for anyone's age. You could have been 18 or you could have been 80. And because when we rolled out the program, we put it out that we would maintain confidentiality, but Sherry definitely did say that there were no applicants or no one from the townhomes received the flyer. That's absolutely not true. And then the second part of that, Mayor Stewart and I, again, rolled out this program. I just want to put this tidbit in there. Mayor Stewart and I both have full-time jobs. It was a lot of work, but we got it done. So no one's saying this program is not a lot of work. No one's saying it's not easy. I've heard Councilmember Downing say multiple times that she's retired. Mayor Stewart and I, we both did this while we were working. So it is a lot of work, but it's a lot of work for our community. It's for the good of our community. And if we're going to roll out something, as former Councilmember Waiter said, we can't put biases on programs if we're using government money. So if you're going to roll out something, it shouldn't be just for a certain age or demographic or, certain people. It needs to be for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, Kim. Are there any other citizens that would like to add any more input to this subject matter? Okay, we're going to move along on the agenda. The ARPA spending plan, I just want to remind the council that Susan did give us a copy of the spending plan, what was left in the ARPA account. Council, please review that document, and then department heads, if you still have money under your line item, please create a plan on how you plan to spend the rest of that money. We do not want to give a cent back to the government, so let's get these plans done, and I will follow back up with you maybe by the end of this month to see where our plan is with the spending the rest of this money.
When did Susan send that?
She sent it in an email to us before, Councilmember Downing. You received the email with the printout of the ARPA spending. And I attached the plan to it, and Susan gave us a document. It should have been maybe a couple weeks ago. I'm sorry, I'm looking for my original document, but she did send an email.
Just let me know when Susan sent us a document.
Okay, I don't have the date off the top of my head, but I will have Susan resend it. But I do recall receiving it in the email. And just start reviewing that plan to see where we can spend the rest of this money. Okay. Next agenda item is under new business, the purchase of a TV and an iPad. Councilwoman St. John.
Hello. So this was discussed yesterday in depth in the work session. This is in regards to purchasing a TV and iPad to help not only develop the communications, but also to be able to have these for other resources. So the purchase of the TV right now is being proposed for us to be able to have a two-way communication street, especially for our work sessions where we currently are only able to log in directly to our devices. So proposing to have the TV in the town hall area during the work sessions and also the town meetings as a temporary solution. We are able to interact with the hosts that are not only online, but the people who are sitting in the audience will all be able to see each other, be able to hear more clearly. And that is something that I'm proposing for a temporary solution until we're able to get the equipment to improve our communications. Alongside of that, the additional features of having the TV would be to have for any type of events that we may have, such as movie night or, whatever that may require TV. We can also use that to transform as a projector to mirror any type of presentations if someone may come in. The iPad would serve the same purpose. Most of you guys may know that prior to 4 months ago, I was also streaming all of our meetings via social media, Facebook, and Instagram. Through that, we were reaching residents that would not attend online meetings or would not come in person. So definitely can contest to that. That was something that was viable. Alongside with the iPad, again, temporary solution until communications are able to improve overall. The iPad would also serve as a purpose for us to be able to use to scan in QR codes. Right now, we currently have trouble with our Hispanic, some of our seniors coming in, not being able to scan the QR code. I know there was back and forth about still kind of having people write in on a sign-in sheet, but with that iPad, we'd be able to have people not have to use their personal devices. They would scan the QR code through the iPad, we would sign them in, and then still it'd be a device for the whole building to use for whatever uses throughout whatever that need may be. So I am proposing that come out of the out of the communications line item. I gave quotes for 2 specific devices yesterday, both at just a little bit over $300. We did also talk about the suggestion of looking for a cheaper device. The only real way is Apple, it's an iPad. So that really is the cheapest model with the most current technology that would be able to correctively do. The problem is what we're trying to do is solve the problem for communication. We don't want to get older devices because they're cheaper and then we're having the same communication problem. So that is the best rate for the iPad, but I will also be looking into some cheaper devices under Android and following the conversation with Susan to also kind of just speak with Jay to see the timeline on when we are hoping to have the communications, just so that we're not being redundant and having any, duplications if we're getting ready to have that in. And as far as smart boards, I do see your comment, former Mayor Waiters, very, very expensive. I am very, very much hoping we can get smart boards a part of the bigger plan. But yes, that is all I have for that. And it is worth it, yes.
Thank you. So will you be coming back to us with the actual cost for these 2 devices and after you speak to Jay, or did you want to put a motion on the floor tonight to purchase?
Yeah, no, I do want to talk to Jay first. So I'm sorry, I did have the prices with tax. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm not even going to quote it. But one is like 340 with some tax, and then the other one was a little bit under that, I think. But I'll have those numbers. But no, I do want to talk to Jay first, just to hear his feedback and suggestions. But I definitely plan to propose to be ready to move forward with that by June for sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, so the next agenda item is budget for the Town of Fairmount Heights 90th anniversary. Councilwoman St. John?
So in yesterday's work session, this was more proposed of a question trying to understand the budget for planning this. Was this something that we needed to start dealing with now, or will we have to wait and plan that into the budget? After speaking with Susan, we will be looking at this after we go through the budget, but one topic that did just come up for anyone who wasn't here is we do still have to secure the venue. Venues are, typically for any type of event, especially around summer wedding time, we definitely need to book venues in advance. So we had the consideration of the PG Ballroom, which I know is something that we would have to probably move forward before getting that done. But that topic was mainly just to kind of discuss when we would be able to kind of set a budget for that. So that'll kind of be tabled until we have the budget meeting.
Okay, thank you. Calendar of reserve holiday events year 20.
I have a question for Councilwoman St. John.
Councilwoman Downey, you have the floor.
Councilwoman St. John.
Yep.
We normally have, for big things like this, they normally form committees. Was it ever considered to have a committee formed?
Yes, absolutely. So a couple of things that needed to be put into consideration. So even with having the committee, right, we still need to have the venue. But yes, we discussed, especially with Mr. Romy, talking about anybody that would like to be a participant, what that kind of looks like, what things do we want to have involved. So definitely plan on looking for any type of volunteers, anybody that wants to participate, just share ideas, be on scene. We're going to be asking for all help, but one of the things that we'll need to move forward is, the budget. So once the council is able to, determine how much money is going into this event, I think we can move forward with that.
So you guys help me out here. I would think that a committee should be formed before you have your budget set. I would think that putting it out to the public, asking who would like to, because we got a lot of people who've been in the town for a long time, they might be interested. And then once you get your committee formed, then you never know who you may bring in that may have knowledge of, budgeting for large events. Just one of my suggestions.
Yep, not opposed to that at all. I think the thought process, at least for me behind that, is not, having false dreams or coming up with these big ideas and plans and then kind of get shut down by not being able to have the funding for that. But I'm not against forming the committee first at all, but just, making sure that disclaimer is, kind of out there that we don't know what this budget is going to look like yet, but just start forming ideas. I'm not opposed to that. So I can kind of work with Ms. Russell and Mr. Romy to figure out what our flyer should look like so we can start getting people engaged to be able to, figure out what that looks like, where the funding's coming from, if we're fundraising, if we're doing tickets, like whatever that may look like.
Yeah, and do me a favor, former Mayor Martin would be a good resource because she's done quite a few events like that. So just my final thoughts. Thank you so much for being open.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Councilwoman St. John in reference to the 90th anniversary?
Yeah, I asked, so the town is paying for it, or are we gonna earn money to pay for this? Is the town paying for this?
That's questions that we'll have to ask. I would think that we'd like to be able to either raise money, get some type of funding, but I do know that for the most part, we would be planning in the budget for some of this stuff, just like we would for Fairmount Heights Day.
And some sponsorships, right?
Yep, hopefully, crossing fingers.
It seems like it's on a much bigger scale than Fairmount Heights Day. Fairmount Heights Day was pretty much all volunteer stuff. And this is a big scale.
And Fairmount Heights Day, for the most part, were donations that were given. I used to walk and get money that was given, and the promise was to spend it for the town. And I always, if Susan go back in the records and show you, it was always overspent for what was donated. So with this event, 9 times out of 10, and checking with other municipalities, they generally get a venue like the Camelot, which was projected way back for us at one time. And you sell tickets in accordance to what your menu is and what the caterers that you got your 3 bids for.
Yep.
Some of the venues come with, like Camelot came with food, and you just pick your menu. And then the projection was to do tickets, and we would have a book. So
Yep.
it's a lot of creation. I can understand why she's saying a committee has to be formulated for the book and all kind of things that it would entail. The attire, more than one venue, you don't just settle for one. And possibly the accommodations that you're gonna have.
Okay, so it sounds like valid reasons to definitely start the committee first. So not opposed to going that route at first. I'm sorry, go that route first. And then we can kind of get all of the input from there for all the things. But yeah, I'm sorry. What I mean is when I say it like Fairmount Heights Day, is that we're celebrating, it's going to be the anniversary. So the plan is to actually have 2 things. We'd still have that normal Town of Fairmount Heights Day, and then in addition, the dinner style anniversary. So what we'll do is start working on that for the rest of this month to get communication out so that we can start getting people involved on the committee so we can have those conversations.
Thank you, Councilwoman St. John. The next agenda item is calendar of reserved holiday events year 2024-2025. Councilwoman St. John?
Yep, so that was just on the agenda to pose the question of how the budget works towards if that was January to December or July to June, and that was answered. So we can move on.
Okay, thank you. The next agenda item is community activities and fundraising. Councilwoman St. John?
Gotcha. So same as the first, was kind of a second part question, but just kind of separating how we would do the reserved and holidays we know that are coming up all the time versus just community activities and fundraising that we wanted to do when it came to anything outside of like the youth or senior activities. So just that question was just kind of posed to figure out for anyone that wanted to solely or, in a group decided they wanted to do or sponsor any type of events and fundraising, how we would go about that. So I am good and okay to move on with that as well.
Okay. Councilwoman Wood Dawson, you had parking spaces at the town hall. Did you want to discuss that again, or were you okay with the discussion from yesterday? Councilwoman Wood Dawson?
I'm fine with what was said. You said that possibly a sign would go up, so that satisfies me. Or no?
No, what I said was to make it an official handicap spot, it'd have to have a sign there. Mr. Rumi said that they would consider putting the sign up.
Okay. Is this something we have to vote on or do the town?
If it was already a sign there, we're just replacing the sign, right?
that was the only thing I asked when I told Miss Russell that it was a sign up. The sign came down, it's been a while. It's replacing something that was, because they painted on where you park, but they didn't replace the sign. And that's all I asked, is that the sign could be replaced.
Okay, All right, thank you. I'll make sure Mr. Cradle follows up with that. Okay, the next agenda item is the grant ordinance and the letter ordinance. I will be sending, I've completed those both for those ordinances, and I will be sending them over to the attorney by the end of the week. And then once he does his legal review, I will send to the council. Well, I'll send both people. I'll send everybody at the same time, those two ordinances for y'all review and the attorney's review. All right. I'll hold it back to my agenda. Can you scroll down a little bit more, Madam Clerk? Now we're going to go to reports. And I will go first. Let me get my notes up. It's been a busy month for me. On April 21st, I attended Forest Heights' 75th anniversary. It was an amazing event. It was nicely decorated. It was a large attendance of people that showed up. A lot of political officials was there. It was a very nice, elegant event. And I hope that when we plan ours, we can kind of mirror some of the ideas that they had. On April 27th, I participated in the Town of Fairmount Heights yard sale that was sponsored by Councilwoman Barnhart. While the event was rained out, we were still able to sell a few things. All of the proceeds earned from this will go towards the scholarship fund. I personally donated all the money that I received from selling items to the scholarship fund. So, Councilwoman Barnhart, we're going to reschedule that for what day?
The rescheduled date for the yard sale is for June 8th.
Okay, June 8th. So please note that. Please come out and support if you can. I also attended the Capitol Heights Food Drive on April 28th. That was coordinated through Councilwoman Leftwich, which the Capitol Heights has said that we can take over the fourth Sunday. So we'll be creating a schedule so that all the council members can help with that particular Sunday, where they're giving out food. They have a really nice setup. They get the food, I believe, from Trader Joe's and the Whole Foods Market. And then they break it down. They have a large team that breaks it all down. And then they allow the people who help with breaking the food down to get their food first. And then they open it up to the public. They have a really nice system. And I'm hoping that the Town of Fairmount Heights can kind of mirror that and get something going here. Let me see. On May 11th, I participated in the Mother's Day walk that was sponsored by Vice Chair Barnhart. It was a great opportunity to walk the community, to yell Happy Mother's Day to the people that we came across. I was able to engage with a lot of community residents. So that was a very nice event, and I look forward to doing that again next year. Also on May 11th, myself, Councilwoman Downing, Councilwoman Barnhart, we all attended a tri-municipal meeting where with elected officials from Capitol Heights, Sea Pleasant, Town of Fairmount Heights all met together. And this is basically a meeting to kind of collaborate our efforts. For example, when I say collaborate, we do a book bag drive. Sea Pleasant does one, Capitol Heights does one. And the comment was made that the same people will hit each and every book bag drive, right? So instead of doing 3 separate ones, we want to pool our resources and do one big book bag drive. So that's how we're going to use this tri-municipal thing. We're also going to be trying to seek funding for big ticket items or big projects that we can all work together, because we don't necessarily have a grant writer, but maybe Sea Pleasant does, maybe Sea Pleasant or Capitol Heights does. So we want to work together with this. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to, because Jazz Lewis mentioned that he wanted to co-locate our police departments in one building. So this will be a great opportunity to work on this project with the tri-municipal to make that happen. And that concludes my report. Councilwoman Barnhart.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My report concludes, I attended the PGCMA meeting on April the 18th. They talked a lot about taxes. They said February we moved into a brand new system, taxes called Merlin tax. Of course, the deadline for filing personal taxes was extended for that previous Monday. Also, they spoke about Miss Nicole Johnson, the public for regional public engagement for Prince George's County, for festivals, fairs this coming summer, and ribbon cuttings. They talk about the unemployment rate of 1.8 without more labor forced participation in Maryland. The economy will continue to stack what they intended. They also spoke about the Department of Assessment and Taxations. They also spoke about nonprofit organizations. They're supposed to be having a big event. They may have already had it at UMBC, University of Baltimore County. The mayor already spoke about the yard sale. It was kind of sort of a rain out. We didn't get too many or any at all people coming past purchasing anything. We was almost like purchasing from each other. Mother's Day walk was very, very interesting. Thanks to Ms. Russell, because she has vendors set up throughout the town. So everywhere we walked, we seen a vendor. We participated in the little session that they had, whether it's mental health awareness or glucose as far as checking your sugar. The health department and juices that was presented for healthy living and teas as well.
Don't forget the nutritionist.
And the nutritionist, yes. Ms. Russell can actually speak more on the vendor part. Ms. Russell, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you inform us all the representatives that we had for our vendors?
So there was Fannie.
And we had CDC as well.
Yes, the CDC truly really helped facilitate and help with the planning and organizing, getting all the vendors in. There was the Fannie 8 drinks. I believe on through. So I don't want to miss anybody. Reach Out, Prince George's County, Heavenly Urban Nature, the Integrated Medical Center. I believe there was one more. Let me see. But it was a really nice event. They came out, they had their tables set up with all their information, all the different displays that they had. Everybody got tons of information on health, mental health awareness. It was really, really nice. And I believe there was a raffle as well. Just gave away some nice prizes to the mothers that were in attendance. Not sure what more information you want, but it was very, very nice. And a special thank you to the CDC for all your assistance and help with that.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks to the Public Works Department who helped out with the event, of passing the tables out throughout the community, and as well as cleaning up everything that was in the community. Thanks to Chief and his staff as well for escorting us to the town as we walk through for the Mother's Day walk. Also, we may have already mentioned the Tri-City meeting that we had with Capitol Heights, Sea Pleasant, as well as us with Council Member Downing. I spoke with Oscar as far as the Veterans Memorial. I already spoke to, I believe, Sarumi and the Public Works Director about getting the monument, the Veterans Memorial cleaned up, power washed. Councilmember St. John already spoke about the 90th anniversary committee. I have 3 quotes of different locations that we can have the event at. One is PG Ballroom, but understanding that we need a committee to help out with this event. That is great that we get community participation, because everyone in the community has to be involved because they do live and they are citizens of the town. As well as someone mentioned yesterday in the meeting of having a town policy on fundraising and events. I'm actually working on that now. I'm going to present it to the mayor so she can send it over to the attorney for verification and approving before it's been submitted to the council. We also attended the Parks and Recs meeting to talk about the foxes in the town. We also talked about the upgrading in the parks, especially in the townhouse area and also in the Sturf Road and Addison Road area. But as far as upgrading, they did upgrade the goal posts for the football field, and they also did backboards for the tennis court. And I informed them that I was more looking for a brand new park like other communities have. Everyone else had brand new parks except in the town of Fairmount Heights. So I'm really pushing for us to get a brand new park. Citizens participation is also welcome into what their site is concerning that park, whether we want a new tennis court. I would prefer myself a pickleball court as well. Extending the playground a little more and still having that football field so the soccer team and the football players can actually have their field to have their events as well. And that's conclude my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Barnhart. Councilwoman St. John.
Good evening again, everyone. My report will be very short this month, but I did basically attend some of those same meetings, excluding the tri-state. I attended the PGCMA, as well as the park and planning meeting with Sherry Downing and Reiki Shabanhart. I also participated in the Mother's Walk, very lovely event, and helped them out with setup. In addition to that, I also attended a webinar that was hosted by MML for the library. They basically have a tool for us to be able to use a lot of answers to questions that municipalities typically have, and it's a big bundle resource of information. So basically, they were giving us a tutorial how to have access to these files, how to navigate through those. So I'm hoping in the upcoming weeks, as I start playing around with that tool, I'll be able to use those resources as we help innovate and develop, new policies, ordinances, and just, make sure we're practicing things accordingly. In addition to that, we all know yesterday, or maybe we don't, but yesterday was the primary election day. So just want to kind of send a reminder out there to everyone. You want to make sure you're learning about your candidates, making sure that you guys are currently registered to vote, in which in the state of Maryland, that's by being a U.S. citizen, being a Maryland resident, obviously. And for those that don't know, you can actually register to vote at 16, although you have to be 18 during the general election to be able to actually cast your vote. I have mentioned before that newsletter is something that's still very much close to the forefront. However, I have postponed that to scale down a little bit as we're working on the strategic priorities for communications, which one of those things, obviously, as I've mentioned, with the purchase of or wanting to purchase the TV and iPad, the first thing that I am trying to work on is repairing the communication boundaries right now for both sides, people that are inside of the meeting, as well as people who are attending virtually, to make sure that we can all hear each other, see each other, and are connected. And that is all I have tonight.
Thank you very much. Councilman Oscar.
Oh, yeah. Well, firstly, I want to start with just to piggyback of what Ms. Barnard said regarding the Memorial Weekend. So we definitely want to have that parade at the Veterans Monument. And I want to go ahead and make contact with the same guy from the American Legion, which is Melvin Graves, to know what time in their schedule, they will be, or they intend to make a stop at Fairmount Heights for the laying of the wreath. One thing I want to mention about that, or another thing I want to mention about that is that we should actually get a more presentable wreath and stand. So definitely we want to talk to the treasurer about buying a new wreath and stand. And once the plaza is cleaned by Public Works, I will move forward with probably changing the flags at that time, so to make it really presentable for the event. In addition to that, there's some events that we want to do for the kids, which is some community events rather. We spoke about having a pizza games and movie night sometime in July. Obviously, we have, in addition to that, we have the book drive and any other event that we can fit into the summertime that will be considered. And lastly, I also spoke to the treasurer about where we could tap in funds. So besides the yard sale, using the yard sale to raise some funds, we can, if Susan or the treasurer is able to tap into some resources that we can get some funds from the town, then that would be much appreciated. And I got a positive feedback from her. So maybe sometime along the lines, we should be getting some cushion with extra money from the town, possibly to have those to present to the kids and have the scholarship ready for them. Some of the topics that we want to look at, or some of the factors we want to look at when we presenting, or for whoever wants to apply for the scholarship, I think some of the qualities or factors we want to be considered is the students' involvement in community service activities, and or we will be placing heavy emphasis on those things, and that would include also the academic achievements, community involvement, and some of the leadership skills. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Oscar. Councilwoman Wood Dotson. Councilwoman Wood Dotson, you have a report to give? Okay. I'll come back to her. Councilwoman Downey.
I'll keep it brief. The only thing I would like documented is that it's my understanding now that we are not going to have a constant yield meeting or a discussion. There's no no council, so constant yield discussion. Therefore, it will stand the 4.03. And I just want it noted that I voted to lower it so that the taxes would not be raised for the citizens in Fairmount Heights. I just wanted that noted. I really don't think it's good that, it's beneficial for me to go into detail all the events, seminars, meetings that I attended. I'll put it in writing in my report. So that's all for me this month. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we open it up to citizens' participation.
I'm sorry, Mayor. I have to mention something really quick. We had a
Go ahead,
birthday in, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Community member Miss Teresa Graves turned 103 years old last month. I just wanted to put that on record.
Oh, wow. Usually we get an update about that so that we can at least send flowers or something, but we didn't get it this year. Okay. Thank you for letting us know.
No problem.
So I thought I saw. So now we're yes, we still will have to have a vote We still have the vote setting the constant yield. I believe we're gonna do that at the budget meeting, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'll find out from Susan and let you guys know. Okay, so now we're opening up to the citizens. Who would like to go first?
If you all don't mind, I don't mind going first.
Please state your name and which street you live.
Okay, so my name is Kiana Turpin McCurtis, and I do not live in the Fairmount Heights area. I am the branch manager at the library located on Kolb Street. Am I able to speak, or is this only for the resident?
No, it's open to citizens' participation. Anybody who would like to speak.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to let you all know we are located on 5904 Kolb Street. We are right on the corner. I wanted to also talk about some of the programs that we have upcoming, which will kind of help in some of the programs that I hear that you all are trying to do, especially for children and early literacy. And just to highlight a few of the things, we do have the Juneteenth walk that will occur on June 15th. We have Ready to Read story times every Thursday at 11 a.m. On June 18th, we're having a summer Prince George's kickoff that will have different activities for the children and some games. We also have computer classes lined up, exercise classes lined up, various things like that. But in terms of activities for the children specifically and adults, we are really here to serve you all. So if you all are able to reach out to myself or come past the library and let us know what the community would like to see, we can put those activities, classes, all of those things in action for you all. So we have we're open Tuesdays and Wednesdays on late days from 12 to 8. Every other day, we pretty much have normal business hours, 10 to 6 p.m. So anytime you all want to come by, please do so. We want to hear from all of you. So please stop by. I'm here for pretty much your business meetings and your town hall meetings. So I do enjoy listening to all of the things you all have to say and what you all's needs are.
Thank you, Ms. McCurtis. Do you have a contact number or a, could you put your email and contact number if you don't mind in the chat?
Yeah, not a problem at all.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much for the information. What time is the Juneteenth walk on the 15th?
The Juneteenth walk starts in the morning. Give me one moment while I can put that information up, pull that information up.
And Miss Kiana, do you guys also have like a set calendar that has the events that you mentioned already on it, something that we can?
Yes, I can also put that information. I'll put everything in the chat for you all to view. Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. The next person is the CDC. You have the floor. Thank you, Ms. McCurtis.
No problem.
Good evening, everyone. Renita Flood Bennett here with Fairmount Heights CDC. First, we wanted to bring up the community safety program. We are currently working on a K Street alleyway enhancement with Town Manager Sarumi and Mr. Pickney. Our electrician technician has been out for the solar lighting along the path. We also have potential locations for community cleanup and beautification. The locations should be located in the town hall, but the first one is the K Street alleyway enhancement that we're currently working on. Then the other location is 505 Eastern Avenue, removal of leaves, light tree trimming, and litter and trash pickup. The other location is Addison Road and Sheriff Road, removal of leaves, light tree trimming, and tree removal, light litter and trash pickup. And if you all wanted to do a replacement or correct, fix the pole for the Welcome to Town of Fairmount Heights sign along the Addison Road. And if you wanted to do a beautification arrangement surrounding the brick sign, to bring attraction to it, the brick sign at Addison Road and Scherf Road. So that is for the community safety works. Then also, we were speaking with Town Manager Surumi and Mr. Pickney about the potential activities for that K Street Market alleyway, possibly a farmer's market, and definitely doing a grand open ribbon cutting ceremony once we're complete with the developments and the beautification over on that K Street. We had also inquired about you all being interested in having any summer youth workers over the summer. And also the Mother's Day Walkathon recap. We want to thank you for the opportunity to assist and to participate. We would just like to know if it is annual, because then we can assist with, having more vendors and, more community engagement. So just let us know if that's annual so we can look forward to participating next year if you'll have us. And then also an update on the doorbell cameras. The issues have been presented to the tech, to our tech support. It is currently being looked into to confirm if it was the actual device defective or the security data sharing app used for the monitoring and capturing of activity through the device. So that's that data sharing where you might use an app in order to save, the video or to share any type of data. So we're looking into that, and we will keep the town updated on all new development. Thank you. That's all we have. Thank you for allowing us to share. If anyone has any questions.
And thank you again for your support with the Mother's Day event. It was amazing. And when
I have a question.
I'm sorry, I'm still speaking, Councilwoman Downey. The beautification project with the sign at Addison and Sheriff. Can we talk about that a little more in detail? Can we schedule a meeting to talk about that?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Councilwoman Downey?
I just wanted a copy of her presentation that she's showing on the screen. Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, can I add one more thing? I'm so sorry.
Sure.
We were able to join in on the joint municipality jurisdictional meetings that's been currently happening with the town of Fairmount Heights, Seat Pleasant, and Capitol Heights. The two things that we noticed that has been coming up very often is the need for the collaboration with grant writers and the joint community action agency or community development agency. So we actually have some funding that is coming in order to form an interagency amongst the three jurisdictions. And so we would like to, work with you guys and list, Brian Franklin with list to get this interagency formed. And the first step that he has told me is to identify 2 to 3 representatives from each jurisdiction. So yeah, that's all we have. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I do have another question. So I was wondering why it was all elected officials at the event on Saturday. So that's why the Fairmount Heights CDC was present. I was wondering why you were present. So you were there for a particular reason? And I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Renita Flood Bennett, yes. So we're the Community Development Corporation, and we have a relationship with LIS. And LIS informs us of all the communications and the meetings that's happening on the collaboration with the town of Fairmount Heights, Seat Pleasant, and for Capitol Heights. We pursue funding on behalf of all 3 agencies. And so it's pertinent for us to be a part of what is arising from the community and from the leaders so that we can know how we can best support you all.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I was just wondering because it was all elected officials from the three different municipalities and yourself. So I'm glad you clarified that. I think we've already touched base on the presentation you just had. If you would certainly make sure that we get emailed, all of us can get an email copy of that. I'm also understanding that you may be considering some signage, working on the signage. I just wanted to make it clear that there was ARPA funding that was set aside for former Councilwoman White. Because I picked up her committee, I am trying to get what information I can, but I do plan on, I have been working with some representatives from Capitol Heights with their illuminated signs to see who their vendors were. But definitely what is it? MML should have some good contacts. So definitely, if you are planning on doing something with the signage, perhaps we can work together to see what we can get done with some of the ARPA funds as well. All right. Thank you.
Sound good. If as long as there's no confliction with funding as far as council and CDC, then that is absolutely fine. And then I believe your signage may be more so the DigiBoard, getting a digital presence, and we're just beautifying and replacing, or more so just fixing the metal piece for a pole, and then maybe if you guys would like to refurbish the bricks and add some floor landscaping surrounding it, something such as that. So if that does come together and work well together, then we can definitely collaborate on that. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you. Are there any other citizens that would like to participate?
I have my hand raised.
Council, I'm sorry, Mr. Barnhart, you have the floor.
Okay. Martez Barnhart, President of the Citizen Association of Fairmount Heights. I'm gonna use my time wisely. I just want to piggyback off the ethics portion that we were part of early on in the agenda. I understand that we might not see eye to eye on a lot of things. The Citizen Association, Mayor and Council. But one thing I do understand is this: right is right, wrong is wrong. Policies is policies, procedures, procedure. We campaigned for Mayor Stewart because she told us that she worked prior law enforcement. She worked for a federal agency that practice ethics, that practice policies, following procedures. And our thing is that when we campaigned for Mayor Stewart, we thought that we were going to have somebody that was going to do that was going to have ethics, that was going to follow policy procedures, and that was going to establish accountability, because that's what was on the campaign door knockers as we passed them out, because we did campaign for Mayor Stewart. Since that's been established now, is the mayor having her seat, we then had several violations with the Open Meetings Act. There's no transparency, no honesty, no ethics board. And of course, the Citizen Association is now working with the mayor and council closely, and that's understandable. But again, I think that we all can understand this right here. Wherever that we may work at and wherever that we may do, we have to follow policies and procedures. And we have to have a code of ethics. And we have to do things in a way where as though there's by the law. So that was our reason for campaigning for Mayor Stewart. And I hope that going forward that we could do better in doing these things right here so we won't have any issues going forward. Thank you.
No problem. So when you say that we campaign for Mayor Student, who was we as far as the Citizens Association?
Councilwoman Barnhart, I did not give you the floor. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
But I can answer that question.
Let me say what I'm gonna say. I appreciate you saying what you said, Mr. Barnhart, and I will do everything in my power to make sure we get this ethics board off the ground to appease the citizens of the town of Fairmount Heights. Because despite our documents not being up to date, I will work diligently to make sure that we update those policies and we get everything in place that I promised that I was going to do in my tenure as mayor. Councilwoman Barnhart, you wanted to say something?
I just want to know the members of the Citizens Association, because when he says we petition for the mayor and the council, I'm wondering, though, I only see two people. I only see him and Miss White. If there's any other members of this Citizens Association?
We have myself, Martez Barnhart. We have Joyce White, Vice President. We have Sylvia Safax, Chair of the Blight Committee. We have Ms. Shelton, that is the treasurer for the Citizen Association. And we also have other members in the community that's part of our organization. Now, do we have a list of people? No, we don't. But Mayor Stewart know, because we went out and knocked on doors. We went out and talked to people.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know who
I'm sorry. Miss Shelton is part of the ethics board, correct? Can she be a part of the ethics board and part of the Citizens Association as well?
You mean the election board, right?
Yes, election board.
Right.
She's
so
a part
Ms.
of the
Shelton,
election board for the town of Fairmount Heights, and she's a part of the Citizens Association, correct?
that's correct.
Is
So
that possible? Is that another conflict of interest?
It sure enough is. So that's why your mayor is sitting there, because Ms. Shelton was part of the election board, Ms. Barnhart. So if you're implicating that that's a conflict of interest,
Was that known or unknown?
that was known.
Okay.
So do we need to recall the mayor because Ms. Shelton was part of the election board and the Citizen Association? Vice Chair?
No, but you knew that she couldn't be a part of the election board and the Citizens Association, and you still had her a part of your committee.
Wow.
Well, your mayor knew it too.
Did not know that.
Along with Miss Anita Hall. Miss Anita Hall is part of the
Can
Citizen
I ask the
Association.
question, please?
Mr. Barnhart, don't speak for me. I did not know Miss Shelton was a part of the Citizens Association. All I knew was she was on the election board.
I bet.
So now we have to find someone else to do the election board, correct?
But that's
Do we want to go ahead and revisit this?
yeah.
Can I ask the question and you all
We can revisit it.
Yes, Clark, we can ask your, go ahead, Ms. Clark, ask your question, please.
I would like to know if the study or the program for the speed bumps throughout the town has been completed, or are they going to put more speed bumps throughout the community? Because I need one on my street. We have one, but once they go over that speed hump, they fly down my street going down the hill, or they turn off Addison Road, they fly up the hill until they get down to the other end of the street where the speed hump is. And also one of the citizens in the townhomes asked me to ask that question because she said they need another speed hump or need a speed hump on K Street where she lives.
Okay, Ms. Clark, we are we're approaching phase 2. We are as soon as we get the budget passed, we'll focus on the second phase of the speed humps. I'm not sure which streets were identified. I don't recall all of them, but I do have the email. I can send you that information to let you know the next phase. The chief has already done his part. It's just now we have to get the vendor and I guess get the speed humps installed. So after the budget is passed, I will direct my team to focus on that next phase.
Okay, and I'll get my email over to the clerk so you can send me that information.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I be added to that as well? Because one of a citizen mentioned that their speed humps are low and that people go right over them like they're not even present. So I would like to see how, are the speed humps the same height throughout the town, or are they various heights?
They was originally the same height, but maybe with gravity and people riding over them, they might have sunk a little, but originally they were all the same sizes.
Can I get your clerk to send a copy of that program so that I can do an assessment? Because like Miss Lola Clark just said, I would like to be considered for speed humps as well.
Okay, I will send the email that the chief sent to me with the next phase, next streets identified. to the council, as well as Susan already got it, but I will send it to the council and the citizens who requested.
All right, thank you.
All right, are there any other citizens that would like to participate? All right, if there are no other citizens participating, no more other citizen participation, I will accept the motion for adjournment. I'll accept
I make
the
a motion to, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Can I get a second?
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, and we will hopefully have the plumbing issue resolved at the town hall by morning. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you for the update, Mayor.
Thank you. Bye-bye.